Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be an updated Shop My Stash video. I normally post my Shop My Stash videos every other Sunday, but today is a very special day and I am posting on Saturday because today's Shop My Stash video is a collaboration with one of my great friends here on YouTube, Mariela. Her channel is Makeup with Mariela, so I will have her linked below, and she does Shop My Stash videos every single Saturday over on her channel. So if you love Shop My Stash videos, I definitely recommend checking her out. She also is crazy talented when it comes to makeup, so follow her on Instagram as well. I'll leave her Instagram link down below. I am always blown away by the looks that she creates, and then she does tons of panning and other fun things over on her channel as well. I absolutely love her channel. She's also such a supportive friend and just such a kind-hearted person. Definitely recommend checking her out. Thank you so much to Mariela for asking me if I wanted to collab on this Shop My Stash video. I am so excited about this, and if you guys are interested in seeing the new products that I'm going to be picking to work on the next 2 weeks, then stay tuned. First, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll consider doing so before you go. Other than that, let's just jump into the products that I have been focused on the last couple of weeks. Okay, so we're going to start in this set of 3 drawers like we always do. This has my foundations, concealers, bronzers, and then some palettes as well as my primers. On top, I have obviously like my brushes and beauty blender. I also have this Dior Face and Body foundation. I am working on this in a project pan, and it just stores better when I leave this on top, so I'm going to leave this here. And then I'm also working on the Ofra Rays of Light primer in a project as well, and again, this just stores better on top, so leaving this here. And then opening up this drawer, I have first my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is going in my Partners in Cream project pan, and I'm making some really great progress on this, so I am going to be leaving this in. I am going to take out my Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. I really do love this primer, but I recently picked up a couple new ones from Ulta that I want to pull in and try out, so I'm going to put this away. My MAC Strobe Cream is going in a project right now, but I haven't really been reaching for this, and I just have not felt like reaching for this. So I think I'm going to put this away maybe for a couple of months and pull it back out in like June and make some room in this drawer for some other products that I do feel like working on. My Touch and Soul Prime Essence has like 1 or 2 uses left. This is going in my whole collection project pan. I'm so excited to be done with this. Like I said, I literally have 1 or 2 uses left. So obviously I'm going to keep this in. For foundation, I have my Wander Beauty Nude Illusion Foundation. I have really not been enjoying this, but this is going in my whole collection project pan. I've been trying to use this, or my goal is to use this 8 times this past month, and I do have 1 more use to hit my goal of 8 times. So I am just going to leave this in here. I also have my Revlon Candid Foundation going in my Partners in Cream project. As you can tell, I have a ton of project pan products. As you can see, I'm making really great progress on this. I don't have a ton left of this, so I am just going to keep this in as well. I will be putting back my Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. This is the illuminating version. I don't believe they make this anymore. I did get some good use out of this, and I'm ready to roll in another foundation in its place. I had recently rolled in my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation into my Roulette Pan collab. So I'm going to keep this going. I am almost done with this as well. I feel like I just have a couple uses left, and then this will be complete. I was testing out this Good Molecules silicone-free priming moisturizer. I really like this. I feel like this is a good dupe for the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer if you are looking for a less expensive alternative. I did get some good use on this as well, and like I said, I have a couple new primers. You know I have a problem with primers, but I do have a couple new primers I want to pull in and test out, so I will be putting this back. And then my CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir is going in a project, and as you can see, I really have not made great progress on this, but I think I'm going to put this away for a little bit. I've just been focused on some of my other foundations going in projects, and I feel like I really haven't gotten to play around a ton with my foundation collection, so I think I will just pull this So I think I will put this back for at least the next 2 weeks, if not month, and I can revisit this maybe in May. I really do enjoy this foundation, and this also has SPF 20 in it. Maybe I'll pull this out in May once I finish up a couple other foundations that I'm closer to finishing. Okay, moving on to this second drawer for concealer. These two are both going in projects, my Smashbox Studio Skin Flawless, as well as my Josie Maron Vibrancy. I'm going to keep both these in and continue to work on this, and I'm actually going to keep my Tarte Shape Tape in as well. I've been mixing the Tarte Shape Tape with my Smashbox because the Smashbox one is way too yellow, and then the Tarte Shape Tape also offers just a little bit of extra coverage. So I will just keep all three of these concealers in and continue to chug away on these. For powder, I had pulled this one from Ciate London. This is their Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder. I got some good use out of this. This is okay. It has a very, very strong coconut scent. So if you are off-put by a coconut scent, you will not like this. I did get some good use out of this. So I think I'm going to put this away and pull in a different pressed powder or loose powder for the time being. And then I also had my Bite Changemaker pressed powder. I don't have a ton of options for pressed powder, but I have been absolutely loving this just as like a setting powder. I know technically it's like a powder foundation, but I have been really loving this. I think I'm gonna, even though I've gotten good use out of this, I'm gonna keep this in for one more rotation. And then I also did have my Hourglass Luminous Light powder. This is like the never ever ever ending powder for me. I feel like I'm actually gonna put this away for a little bit. This has been in since, this has been going like all year. For bronzer, I have my Milk Bronzing Stick. This is currently going in my whole collection project pan, so I am going to keep this in as my cream bronzer option. My Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer is also going in a project. I will keep that in. I have my Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder, which is going in a project, keeping it in. I have my Hourglass Bronzer. This is in Luminous Bronze Light. I only ended up using this 1 or 2 times, and I would like to keep this in for another rotation because I do really like this bronzer. I was just opting for more of a matte bronzer the last couple of weeks, but I feel like I'm going to be wanting to reach for a glowier bronzer the next couple of weeks, so I will keep this in, and then I will be putting back my Cover FX Bronzing Duo. You guys know I absolutely love this bronzing duo, so I had no issues reaching for this a ton, but I did get some good use out of it, so I should rotate through my collection a bit more and pull something else out. I don't currently have a ton in my bottom drawer. I have the Benefit Cheekathon palette because I am currently trying to pan Hoola as well as Dandelion, or Dandelion. So I am obviously just going to keep this in the bottom drawer. And then I have this Halo Top and ColourPop Super Shock Shadow. This is in the shade Extra Sprinkles. This is also going in a project pan. I'm trying to finish this entire Super Shock off this year. I used this a couple times this past rotation. I was actually a lot better about reaching for this than I have been. So I'm going to keep this in this drawer to continue to encourage myself to use it. And then I also reached for just one extra additional palette outside of my palettes that I'm working on in my pan, those eyeshadows. So I had reached for this one from Marc Jacobs. This was a holiday limited edition palette, and I used this 2 or 3 times. I really do enjoy this palette. I think it's really, really pretty, and I like that it's a little bit more cool toned. The shimmers are also actually pretty unique in that they have a little bit of a shift to them, which I like, but because I actually did get some use out of this, and I need to be better about rotating through my palette collection, I will be putting this back. Alright, so then moving over to my other 3-drawer organizer. In this top drawer, we have tons of blush. So let's start with this face palette. This is from NARS. I got this, I think, in February. This is their Overlust palette, and this is what this looks like. It is a beautiful, beautiful palette, you guys. You have 3 more muted blush options, which I really appreciate, and then you have 3 very beautiful highlighting shades, and it's almost like the Super Shock formula for highlighters, whereas it's not powdery at all. It's almost like a, I don't want to call it like a jelly consistency, but I don't know if you can tell the way that it kind of moves around or manipulates when I reach into it, but it is not a powder formula. And this is a stunning palette that I have reached for so much and enjoyed so much, but I know it's time for me to put this back because it's gotten so much use. I'm also going to be putting back this Tarte Blush Bazaar. I reached into this a few times. I just wasn't feeling super motivated to reach into this. I feel like I could declutter this, but then I feel like I would regret it. Some of these shades are more like winter tone to me, but then you do have your brighter pops. I just think I'm going to put this away for a little bit, maybe pull it back out in like May or June and see if I can get some use out of it, but I just was not feeling inspired to reach for this. I also have my Smashbox Blush Trio. This is going in, I believe it's my whole collection project, and I still have a little bit of, and I still have a ways to go on this. I'm doing a usage goal on it, but I have over 10 uses left that I need to use this. I actually really do enjoy using this blush palette. I've gotten a ton of use out of it already this year, but this will obviously be staying. I also have this Charlotte Tilbury blush in Intense Pillow Talk, and this is very deep toned, which I knew going into it, but I feel like this will look a little bit better on me if I have a little bit more than a tan. I only reached for this one time. I do want to keep this in and try it a few more times. It is really pretty, but I maybe should have just gone with the regular Pillow Talk. So then I had this one from Clinique. This is newer to my collection. This is in the shade Pink Honey Pop. I'm not sure if this shade is new, but I just recently found this shade at Sephora it was either January or February. This is a beautiful blush shade. I did get some good use out of it, and I really would love to keep this in, but because I know I used it quite a bit, I know I have a lot of blush in my collection that's not getting love, so I should put this away. Both of these will be staying in. The blush bombs are going in my Partners in Cream project, and then this Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand is going in my Roulette Pan collab, so these will both stay in. And then I'm also working on Mood Exposure in a project pan, one of my favorite blushes, if not my favorite blush of all time, so this will stay. I did not reach for my MAC Fairly Precious Extra Dimension blush at all. This is a very glowy product, definitely a blush topper. Let me swatch it for you guys. Obviously like a blush topper type of a shade. I don't know if I'm going to feel motivated to reach for this in the next couple weeks. I feel like I can put this away and maybe pull this back out in May or June. And then I also had this one from Hourglass pulled, and I only reached for this like 2 times. This is in the shade Euphoric Fusion. Very beautiful shade. Let's see. It doesn't always swatch the best. It is a glowier blush, but not too intense. And as you can tell, it's not too pigmented. So I feel like it's very wearable. I just unfortunately was reaching for other things. So I'm going to keep this for another rotation. Moving into this drawer, we have tons of highlights in here. So starting with these 3, these are all going in projects, so these will stay. We have MAC Soft and Gentle, Mary Lou, and then Becca Rose Quartz. My Benefit Cookie Highlighter, I did reach for a couple of times. This is a very intense highlighter, very beautiful, but very intense. I did get some use on it, so I am going to put it back. And then I also did reach for my Fenty Kilowatt Highlight in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. One of my favorite highlights ever, but I'm going to put this away so I can cycle through some others. My Hourglass Quad I'm going to keep in because I am working on this shade specifically in a project. This is also just a really beautiful quad, very beautiful options in here in my opinion. And then my ABH Amrezy highlight, I don't know if I reached for this. If I did, I only reached for this one time, so I will keep this going one more rotation. I also have my Milk Lipstick. I love wearing this to the gym, but I won't be going to the gym anytime soon. There is one cream sort of liquid product I do want to pull, so I think I'll put this away for a little bit. And then as far as lip products, the only one that I didn't reach for out of the ones that I selected was this one from Buxom in the shade Coral Crush. Obviously a very bold and intense shade, so I will keep this in, but I did use all of the others. So I used Dopey from ColourPop. I actually want to leave Dopey in one more rotation too. I only used this once and I actually really forgot how much I love this. Jeffree Star Skin Tight, just a really nice nude lip color. Dose of Colors lip gloss in Can You Not, one of my favorite lip gloss shades. Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in Diamond Milk, another very beautiful gloss. And then Tarte Rum Punch is just an all-time favorite lipstick of mine. I will be putting all of these back. Okay, and then we also have a very full bottom drawer. So I did pull the ABH Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit out in honor of them bringing it back. I did reach for this on a couple of occasions, so I think I will put this away for the time being. I have also had my Smashbox Cali Contour going for a couple rotations, and I did get some use out of this past rotation, so I will put this back. My Natasha Denona Love Glow Cheek Palette, I've used some. I think I'm also going to put this away. I have my two Kaja Trios in Glowing Guava and Chocolate Dahlia. I'm going to keep both of these in. I reached for Chocolate Dahlia once, but I would like to play with these a little bit more. I did not reach for my Tarte Clay Play at all, so I will leave this in another rotation. You obviously can no longer get this, but I didn't reach for it at all, so I'm going to keep this going. I have ColourPop Lunch Money, which I usually like to layer over my liquid or cream blush, that Milk Lit Stick. I always love to layer the two, but because I put the Lit Stick back, I'll put this away for a little bit. I have this Dose of Colors single that I broke and then had to like press back into place. This is going in a project. It's kind of annoying to use, but I will keep this in. I'm going to keep all three of these liquid shadows in. I had this one going ever since last rotation, and then I was going through my liquid shadows and pulled these like off camera and haven't gotten a chance to reach for either of these. It's Stila Kitten as well as the Essence Metal Shock eyeshadow in the shade, I don't know, in this shade. I'm going to keep all three of these in, and then I have just a ton of mascara, which is always the situation, so I'm just keeping all the same mascaras. I don't need to reach for a new mascara yet. Next update, I think it will be time to roll out my NARS Climax. I'm almost done with this, and this has been open for almost 4 months, but these will all stay, and now I am ready to shop my stash. Okay, you guys, here is my top drawer. It's gonna be kind of hard for me to film this just because I'm at an awkward angle. So I have primers on this side, foundations on that side. I do have new primers I want to reach for, so I'm not going to grab anything out of my primer drawer right now. But as far as foundation, I am going to grab this NARS Sheer Glow foundation. I purchased this in January or February, and I've worn it some, and I recently wore it to work the other day. Like, I just grabbed for this because I just wanted to see the longevity of wear for this. And I was actually super impressed, shockingly. So I am going to pull this out and play with this for a little bit. And then I know there's a couple of new foundations I want to reach for. So I think that's going to be it for this drawer for right now. Yes, that's going to be it. So in the second drawer, we have powder and concealer. I do have quite a few concealers right now. You know what, I want to pull my e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer. I remember not liking this that much, and I want to see if I can get this to mix well with that Smashbox one and see if I like it that way. Otherwise, I may just end up decluttering the e.l.f. camo concealer. I'm sorry, I know so many people like this, but I just could not get it to work for me. And then for powder, I have a pressed powder. I'm going to grab this one. This actually is not... I'm going to grab this one. This actually is not the Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is my RCMA powder. Some of it dumped into the Laura Mercier one. I just kept the packaging, but it's this powder dumped into here. This is the powder that I haven't reached for like the longest, except for maybe my Milk Blur, but we'll reach for Milk next time, and we will grab the RCMA powder this time. Moving into my bronzer drawer, I feel like I don't have that much bronzer. I think I am going to grab my L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronzette, and then I'm also going to grab my Urban Decay, sorry, out of focus. I'm going to grab my L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronzing Powder, and then also my Urban Decay Beached Bronzer. Out of my entire bronzer collection, these are the two that I am the most unsure of whether or not I actually like them, want to keep them, etc. So I'm going to pull these two and kind of make a decision. I'm starting to compile some products that I think I'm going to be decluttering. So I want to get a feel for how I feel about both of these and then make a decision on whether or not I want to keep them in my collection. Okay, moving on to my blush drawer. This is going to be tricky. What do I want to reach for? I think I'm going to grab MAC Warm Soul as we kind of get into warmer weather. This is what this looks like. I also think I'm going to grab my Alamar Cosmetics Blush Trio so that I will have lots of options. And then it has been so long since I have used my Flower Pots blush in Warm Hibiscus, and this used to be an absolute favorite of mine, so I think I will grab this and then call it good for blush. Okay, sorry for the weird angle. My drawers are in my closet, so it's like hard to get a good angle on this. For my highlight, what do I want to choose? I think I am going to grab my Becca Vanilla Quartz. And then I will also grab actually Summer Haze by Artist Couture. I loved this last summer, and I know we're not quite to summer yet, but I think I might use this a few times just to get me in that like summer mood. And then I'll also grab my Milk highlighter in Lit. This is the pressed version. This is a very, very blinding highlight, but very beautiful. So very excited to use this. Into my face palette drawer. Speaking of highlights, I think I'm also going to grab, it has been so long since I have used my Laura Geller highlighting palette. So why not just give me all the highlighting options in the entire world and grab for this too. And then I do want to pull one more glow kit. I actually really have the urge to reach for the Aurora Glow Kit. Even though this looks super colorful, it's actually more wearable than you would kind of think, especially like Luna, Eclipse, and Lyra. And I also love using these shades as inner corner highlights, especially if I'm doing like a look that has green. I like to use a green inner corner highlight or purple, etc. So I'm going to pull the Aurora Glow Kit. Okay, I literally took my camera off the tripod to try and film the rest of this. This next drawer is all of my singles, as well as my Stila Glitter and Glows, my like Tarte Chrome paint pots, etc. I want to pull one ColourPop Super Shock to reach into. I want to pull this one. I don't know why. There we go. This I purchased but I've never used. It's in the shade Socialize, which I know none of us are supposed to be doing right now. So why not wear it as an eyeshadow instead of actually socializing? But I think we will call it good for this drawer then. Then in here we just have liner and mascara. Again, I don't need any more mascara. And for liner, I just always come grab whatever I need. So we will skip this drawer. And then in this last drawer is all new stuff. So as far as what I want to grab for, I know I want to grab the March Beauty Word collab. Congratulations to Samantha March. This is the blush that they did in collaboration together. This is the blush that Samantha March did in collaboration with Ofra Cosmetics in the shade Chick Lit. It looks so beautiful and I cannot wait to try this. I also really want to try this. I got this in my Beautylish Lucky Bag and have yet to try it. It's like a cream highlight. It looks really pretty. So I'm going to finally give this a try. I'm going to grab both the lip glosses from Ofra. I have the shade BRB as well as Pink Panther. I haven't tried the Ofra Gloss formula yet, and I would really like to. I also want to grab the Kosas concealer. I've used this a couple times. It doesn't really provide a ton of coverage, but I would like to keep playing around with this. And then I do want to grab both primers because I'm very anxious to try both of these. I have the Tula Face Filter Blurring and Moisturizing Primer. I actually finally ended up buying this because Mariela had mentioned in one of her videos that she liked it, and I had been on the fence for a while. So I'm very excited to try this out. And then I also picked up the Ultra Repair Hyaluronic Hydrating Primer. That is a tongue twister from First Aid Beauty because you guys know First Aid Beauty makes my favorite primers ever. And even though I want to try everything in this new drawer, I think that's going to be it for now. This hadn't made its way to my new drawer yet. I forgot to add this in when I received this yesterday. But this is from Ilia Beauty and is their Super Serum Skin Tint, which I'm very anxious to try. So I'm also going to be pulling this for a foundation. But moving on to lips. In my top gloss drawer, I do have those two Ofra glosses already pulled. Sorry, this has gloss and liquid lipstick in it. I think I'm also just going to grab this one from Becca. This is in the shade Beach Bum. It is a gloss and it is a nude gloss, which I love. So I'll pull this. And then in here we have lip liners. I don't even want to mess with this drawer right now. What a disaster. I think I'm going to grab this one from ColourPop. It's in the shade Oh Snap, I believe. Yes. This one from Becca in Oh Snap. I've only used this a couple of times and I really want to use this more. Okay, in here is my like legitimate gloss drawer. For some reason I haven't reorganized these since moving, which is why everything seems so jumbled. I know I have a ton of gloss. I really kind of feel like reaching for Fireball from Urban Decay as well. So I'm just going to grab this. And then moving into liquid lipsticks, this drawer, I don't even know. I know, I want to grab this one from YSL. This is their lip stain, and I never reach for this or use this, and I paid so much money for it. So I really should use it. And then into, I think, yes. Okay, here we go. We got liquid lipsticks in here. I want to grab this one from Maybelline. This is their Super Stay Matte Ink. This is a very nude color, and it's been a while since I have worn this. And then I think I'll also grab this one from Lawless Beauty. This is in the shade Leo. It's a very warm toned nude. Okay, and then I'm just literally holding this because it's usually over to the side. I have all of my Dose of Colors lip glosses, liquid lipsticks, my ColourPop liquid lipsticks, and my Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks. And I do want to grab 2 ColourPop liquid lipsticks. A lot of my ColourPop liquid lipsticks I feel like are going to go bad soon. I'm going to grab the Ultra Blotted Lip, which is this one right here. This is in the shade Zuma. And then I'm also going to grab this very nude liquid lipstick in the shade Midi. This actually dries down to be a lot darker than it looks in the tube. But I've had this for a while and I know that this is probably going to go bad soon. Okay, my camera cut me off. Rude. I would also like to choose a couple of eyeshadow palettes. They're very messily stacked right now. I would like to choose maybe 2 eyeshadow palettes to also focus on. And I'm thinking that I will pull my ColourPop Dream Street and my Deuce palette from Juvia's Place. Both of these seem like good spring options. So I'm going to pull these palettes. And after that, we have all new, all filled acrylic drawers with all of the new products that I have selected to focus on for this Shop My Stash. As you can see, I filled them with all the new stuff. So that is going to conclude today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to go check out Mariela's channel. I cannot wait to see what items she is going to be focused on for her week of Shop My Stash. Thanks again so much for coming and watching my video today and supporting my channel, and I will catch you guys in tomorrow's video.